How can like younger artists become better? I mean, is it just respecting the history of
Well,
the
know
artist?
history and work hard. Work hard. The bottom line is work.
And like
You gotta work, 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 work.
and like you said before when you saw me in Newark, you was like, you got to be active. The artist has to be active.
Oh, you have to be after. You have to be doing it. You know, how do you know life, what to live, and to go and experience life and read and travel and interact with people and expose yourself to all different things. That's how you're gonna learn.
But now is being active, staying up to 4 and 5 o'clock at
No,
night?
no, no, no. That's Hollywood. What works for you? You know, some artists, their energy is in the daytime, so they work in the daytime. Some artists in the nighttime. Some artists all through different periods of the day. Everybody has their own way of working.
So
I don't believe there's just one way of working.
so it's not
But the bottom line, you have to work,
right.
and it has to be a thing that's constant. It can't be just, you know, when you hear people say, "Well, I have to be inspired." You don't get inspired all the time, but you can get better by working. You know, and you can get a deeper understanding by working. You know, so the bottom line is work, exposure, thinking, reading. I mean, it's everything.
And you just keep doing it. And
You have to work. You just don't stop. Mm-hmm.
So at one point in your career, did you stop even worrying about the next project? You know, in terms of,
Oh,
was that 20 years ago, 40 years
well,
ago?
it depends. Sometimes I worry about the project. Sometimes I already know what it's going to be. You know, so you know, situations vary. It's not just this or that. You know, situations vary. Sometimes, for instance, with this Trayvon project, I thought it was just going to be the wallpaper, and I thought it was just going to be very, very simple, but you know, it's like I've heard writers say, I started out writing about this, but then the characters took over, and they started writing the.
It became it took on its own life.
It took on its own
Right,
life.
right, right.
You know, so and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because it becomes
Organic,
organic,
fresh.
fresh.
It's not something that really comes out of your mind, but really comes out of your spirit, comes out what the universe wants to speak to other people.
There you go.
And ego is like removed out because there's more of a flow, a freeness of.
That's right. You let it speak.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah, you let the art speak.
You try to.
Yeah, and you become the conduit, or you become the medium.
And I like that expression that you use, you know, because it's just like in church how the preacher becomes the conduit.
Yes.
You know, and I will also say that the choir is the conduit. The people sitting in the pews are a conduit.
Yes.
That's where you're trying to bring in spirit.
Right.
You know, so it's, to me, a lot is directed by spirit. I once wrote this statement that I'm not always sure of of of, of what I'm doing, but you just try to follow it where it goes. I wanted to say something else about a statement that I made. Good art has presence,
Huh.
and I know it when I can feel it and I can see it. You know, so that's I don't know if I said it exactly.
No. I feel you.
That's
It's
it.
almost, you're saying almost like real art is energetic.
Mhm.
It's not
It's
just
alive.
the
It has
material.
energy.
Right.
Everything is energy.
Right.
Everything is energy.
Right.
So you try to.
It's almost like a color. It's almost like a flower. That
That's right.
when you go in the garden and you see a
That's
flower
what I
and you're like,
want.
oh, that's so beautiful.
There you
Can
go.
I touch it? Can I
That's
get
right.
closer to
There
it?
you go.
Ah,
There you go.
right.
There you go.
It's energetic because the artist lets the flow of spirit of God work through them,
Yeah, the spirit is.
through the tools, through the
That's
medium.
right.
Yes.
You know, now I don't know if every artist feels that way, but that's how I
No,
feel.
I think, and this is what my series is about. The series speaks to how through our culture, and this is all what your art is. Our culture speaks to us and tells us that art should be a certain thing.
Mhm.
But in reality, we really don't know what art is.
No.
You
Well,
can
it's
live
like
here,
God.
right? We really don't.
We don't.
So we experience it,
Do you right?
and all the things you just said a few minutes ago, that's what we do to find out what the art is.
And that's why I would think that all our senses are so important.
Yes.
Because it's not just thinking and reading, it's part of that, but it also is feeling, it's intuiting,
Experience,
experiencing.
emotions,
That's right, emotion.
even the hurt.
That yin and yang.
Yes,
Yin
yes,
and yang.
yes.
That's why in that Trayvon Martin piece, you know, I put the words, you know, some see him as a predator, some see, but his parents might see him as a victim. His mother might see him as her beloved. This other policeman might see him as a criminal. You know, so that yin and yang is always in life. You know, and matter of fact, when we talk about this present election, you know, people are looking at Hillary Clinton and
Trump.
And you got to look deeper than that. Look at the people who are supporting him and ask yourself, why are they supporting him? Look at the people who are supporting her and say, why are they supporting her? I was supporting Bernie Sanders, but I'm not voting for either one of them. I'm going to vote, but I'm probably voting for the socialist candidate or the Green Party, even though I know they're not going to get it. But at my age of 75, I said,
Oh, Doc.
you know,
You're
I'm voting for my convictions because
Right.
so much of my life I had voted Democratic because it was a tradition and stuff like that, you know. But you know, that's my stand for good or bad. But that's what I'm thinking.
What makes you feel good about a young artist's work? When you see other artists' work, what makes you feel good? What makes you, when you see it, you're like, oh, you get it. Ah, there's hope. What does that for you?
Well, I was just saying to someone this morning that for me, I taught at this university for about 43 years, and I didn't really want to retire, but my last 10 years, it was hard to keep up because I had to travel a lot with exhibitions in different parts of the world and stuff. And so I said, I don't want to leave the young people, because the young people always represent another energy, a new energy. And sometimes you might not be in agreement with it, but it represents another force coming in.
Wow.
And sometimes with the young people, they help you to see another level in things, another difference in things, another perspective on things, you know. So that's what's always refreshing about young artists, and especially refreshing today, because there's so many, you know, from when I studied art in school, you know, we were mainly learning about traditional and so-called modern American art and some of world art. But today, you're definitely global. You're definitely all in the world. And there's so many different ways, and you know, it's even harder to say what art is because there's so so many, it's like going to the supermarket. There's too, you ever go to Whole Foods, I say, oh, there's too many options.
It
They
is.
get away from simple.
Right.
Yeah.